Welcome to the Multi-Orgasmic Mama podcast, where sexual taboos are broken. I'm Tilly Storm, holistic sex coach and jade egg and tantric sex teacher. I work with luxury lovers, teaching them the art of better sacred sex by helping them remove all their blocks to pleasure, turn on confidence and connection, so they can step into their fullest potential and power as humans and alchemists in the 3D. If you'd like to learn how to release shame and guilt destroying your sex life so you can feel fully sexually liberated and free, you can access my How to Release Shame and Guilt training at www.tillystorm.com/shame. This episode is brought to you by the Sensually Embodied Woman Collective. If you're ready to remove all your blocks to pleasure, turn on and feeling confident and sexy in your body through my paid programs and offerings, then head to www.tillystorm.com today. Welcome back, my loves. It's Tilly here, and this week we're going to be talking about how to make time and space for yourself and your partner when you're feeling drained and touched out from kids. I know many of you have this issue, especially if you have young kids. You feel touched out, like having intimate, sexy time with your partner is probably the last thing on your mind, and you're just like, get off of me. I can't stand it. I can't even think about someone touching me right now. I remember being there. I remember that it was also a very short phase. So especially if you're breastfeeding, your body is like, doing things to keep another human alive, and there's like important things happening, right? And sometimes it can feel like, oh my God, like just someone not need me right now, right? I totally get it. I remember having young kids, especially when I had my preemie, my second boy, that it was a lot of work. I was doing the pumping thing for a month, and it was before he could figure out how to breastfeed because he was so little. And it was just like, oh my God, I can't imagine another human being needing something from me right now. So I want to give you a framework for working with really difficult situations like this, where you're kind of in conflict, right? You want to experience connection and intimate time with your partner and to be available for your partner, but you're also in this place of everyone needs something from me. And I'm not sure how to maintain a relationship with my partner when I'm constantly in need, right? One thing that Erica pointed out on her podcast on how to get your mojo back after childbirth, or maybe it was like how to become multi-orgasmic, or I don't know. I did a podcast with Erica, who's like a total pleasure queen, who also has a young child. If you haven't checked that one out, it's really freaking awesome. But she says in the episode, it's all about mindset, right? Like if you understand and understood that pleasure was actually for you and not something that you have to give to someone, then it becomes a lot easier to drop into it because it doesn't feel like an obligation or something that you have to do just for your partner. That pleasure is actually for you. So I want to start with that whole mindset and framework that this is the same thing. Intimacy and pleasure is just as much for you as it is for your partner. If we didn't have that conditioning that it was only for our partner, then we wouldn't have so much resentment about it, or we probably wouldn't experience so much resistance to connecting and being more intimate during this really difficult time in your life where, your body might be the thing keeping your kid alive, right? Especially if you're breastfeeding. So this framework is super amazing for working through any really difficult or challenging emotions that you're probably not allowing yourself to feel, and you're acting unconsciously, and you're creating more of a problem than finding the solution to the problem. You're in more blame energy than finding a solution energy. So you can think of it, if you have older kids or whatever, you can think of when they fight and argue, like, are they, I always think of it like, are they looking to blame each other, or are they looking to solve a problem and find a solution? And if you think about it, this is what we do in relationship and partnership. We're almost always acting from this blame energy, but we're not actively trying to discover a solution to the problem. And it takes conscious awareness in order to be in solution energy. And it takes you having to drop your stories and beliefs that aren't serving you to get into the energy of creation, to find a solution and to create a new reality. So the first step for, feeling drained and touched out from kids and, not knowing how to create connection in your relationship without it feeling just like, resentful, is just to notice what you're feeling in your body. The first step is to notice what you're feeling in your body. What do you feel somatically? Go to the source, go to the physical sensations in your body and take a moment to connect with how you feel. Because the first key to changing anything in your life is giving space for what you feel. It's really the key to freeing yourself. Okay, if you're not feeling, you aren't receiving feedback that your body is giving you. And without receiving feedback, you can't come into alignment to create more of what you want in your life. But we are taught from day one that feelings are generally wrong, that we shouldn't feel. And this isn't just men, this is all of us. If you can think back in time, your parents probably said multiple times, if you came in crying or feeling sad or looking, and I'm so guilty of this. I do this all the time with my kids, and I always stop myself. I'm like, why did I just say that? It's like, when am I going to learn to stop saying that? It's so ingrained in us. But we say, what's wrong? What's wrong? When someone is expressing emotion that might not be a happy emotion or a positive emotion, we say, what's wrong? Well, just because you're feeling something doesn't mean that it's wrong. So we have to start there, allowing our feelings to be there without judging them as something that's bad or wrong. And this is key. This is the first step to freeing yourself from limiting beliefs and behavior, unconscious behavior, that you're probably embarrassed of at some point, right? So if you want more space and time, like if you're feeling a sense of maybe resentment of, I don't ever get any time for me, or, I just can't ever be alone, or, oh my God, I'm just so freaking tired, I can't do anything else. I want you to just connect with the feeling sensation, to drop into your body, maybe place a hand on the part of your body that you're really feeling the sensation of the emotion, right? Emotions are just energy in motion. So how can you connect with the energy that's going on that feels not good or negative or whatever? The second step is then to get curious about why you are feeling the way that you're feeling. What are the stories? What are the thoughts? What are the beliefs or the perceptions that are triggering you, that's showing up for you in this moment, and why is it there? So let's take this example of feeling drained and touched out. Okay, what is the story that you have created here? Maybe the story is that in order to be a good mom, I have to give and give and give and give until there's nothing left at the end of the day for me. Maybe the story is I constantly have to be the one to do all of the tasks. My partner works full time and I stay home, and therefore I'm the one who has to do all of the things at home. Well, is that really true? Have you asked your partner to help out around the house before and they were just a flat out, no, you are supposed to do all of this yourself? A lot of times women will assume certain things because that's what we got taught growing up. But is that actually a story that we need to continue? Is that even your truth? So we are often unconsciously acting and behaving from a version of us that is less than 8 years old. And until we start to question these beliefs and thoughts and stories that we've made about being a mother, for example, or, connecting with our partner when it feels like, well, that's the last thing I want to do right now. Like, what are the stories, the perceptions, the beliefs that are showing up unconsciously so that we can make them conscious? We can be aware of them. So what is the story here? And get curious about why you feel the way you do and the story that you've developed about it all, because this will give you clues as to what is in need of further healing. And again, a lot of times it is a younger version of ourselves or an inner child version of ourselves, your inner little girl that picked up on all of these stories about what motherhood meant or what relationship or sexuality meant later on. So the third step, once you've gotten curious and you're starting to notice, oh, right, this probably isn't about my partner. This is probably just about like a story that I created. And now, what is it that I desire instead of the way that I'm currently feeling or what I'm currently experiencing? So discover what you desire. What are your desires? What do you really want right now? Do you want to feel energized? Do you want to feel important? Do you want to feel nurtured by your partner instead of being the one that's always doing the nurturing? Do you want to feel cared for or just appreciated and acknowledged for all the hard work you're doing? Do you want more connection or just more space in general in your life to have some alone time, just to be by yourself without an expectation? Maybe you want connection with your partner, but you don't want it to feel like it has to lead to sex or anything else, right? That you just want time to drop in and connect more deeply, to communicate more deeply without it leading to other things. So discover what it is that you really are desiring. And then notice if how you're behaving and the choices that you're making right now, are they going to help you get what you want? Probably not. Okay. So if you're lashing out, if you're getting angry at your kids, or you're becoming more resentful or feeling more resentful toward your partner for not helping out enough, just notice that this discomfort is showing you what you want. It's helping you to figure out that, okay, it's like feedback information, right? Like, okay, this is what I don't want to feel. And now I do want to feel this instead. And how are you acting right now? And is that going to actually help me get what I want? So once you notice how your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions aren't actually getting you what you want, just ask yourself what other perceptions and possibilities could exist right now. What's the feedback I now get to use to get what I want in this situation? So you are moving into a more, that's interesting. I'm starting to see that the way that I have been acting and behaving isn't actually getting me what I want based on these stories I have made about life or motherhood or relationship or sexuality. And I want to experience more appreciation and more of being cared for and acknowledged. And I am discovering that what I really want is just some freaking free time away from kids and away from my partner. So this leads us to step 4, which is to shift your thoughts, your beliefs, and perceptions about what you're currently experiencing. Okay, so if you are freaking out over not having enough energy or space or connection in your life, once you see how the way you're acting now isn't helping you to get what you want, you can shift your perceptions, your thoughts, your stories from this old unconscious patterning, which is generally reactionary programming based out of fear energy, into more trusting and creative energy. So once you stop blaming and complaining about what you're experiencing, right? Because you're getting curious, you're diving deep, and you start opening to what might be possible if I were to change my story about this. You're moving into a state of curiosity, of wonderment, of creation energy, and it's exciting. It's like, oh, wait, so I've been acting unconsciously from these parts of me that just developed the story about motherhood or sexuality or relationship, and then taking responsibility for your life instead of being in blame mode, right? You'll be in a much better state to choose behaviors and actions in alignment with what you really want if you're in this space of creation and looking for solutions instead of blaming and being a victim. So only when you're in this state of curiosity, of wonderment and excitement will you be able to choose something different from the unconscious reactions and patterns and behaviors that you've previously been operating from. But, they're all unconscious, right? For example, if you've been resenting your partner and not wanting to have sex with him or her because you are more unconsciously committed to blaming him than finding a solution, like asking him or her or other family or friends for more support so you can have more energy and space in your life. When you shift to an energy that allows you to find creative solutions for the problem, you're much more likely to feel in a place of power, empowerment to create a new reality for yourself. But you have to get out of this blame victim mentality and to start getting and shifting the energy into space of curiosity, of excitement. Well, what else could there be? What else might be available here? How might I, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then the fifth step is to determine what actions you get to take or how you get to behave now in order to get what you want. And how does it get to be fun and easy? Fun and easy. Yes, yes, yes. So if we're using, I am feeling drained and touched out and I don't want to be experiencing this right now. I want more connection and I want more free time. Well, how can it be more fun and easy? Maybe it's that you have a conscious conversation with your partner about roles and responsibilities. And that's something that you've been avoiding for a while. Maybe it's just letting your partner know that you want to have a date night and just connect and communicate on a deeper level, but without distractions or an expectation of sex. And maybe it's that you just need to ask your partner for a couple of hours of alone time a week where it's totally non-negotiable. And that gives you time to just do what you want when you want to do it and to feel that sense of freedom that you're not experiencing because you're constantly caring for other people. So whatever it is for you, I want you to discover what is your next step and ask for what you want so you can consciously create a solution instead of being in blame and victim energy all day, every day. All right, mamas, let's review this. So the 5 ways to get out of really uncomfortable feelings and sensations where we're unconsciously acting from previous patterns, thoughts, beliefs about the world or stories about the world is number 1, to notice what you're feeling in your body. What do you feel somatically? This is so key. The second one is to get curious and to question why you feel that way. What's the story? What's the thought, the perception, the belief, or the trigger that's showing up for you in this moment? And why is it there? Number 3 is to discover what you desire instead of what you're currently feeling or experiencing. And then number 4, to shift your beliefs into a space of negative, blame energy to a space of creative energy where you start to take on new thoughts, beliefs, or perceptions that might be available if you were to focus on those instead. And then number 5, what is the actions that you get to take now to give you what you want? And how can it be fun and easy? All right, ready to get your mojo back, my love? Well, be sure to download my Ignite Your Desire e-guide or get any of my other free resources at www.tillystorm.com. We've also got a How to Start a Jade Egg Practice e-guide, a Tantric Sex Starter Kit for couples, and a How to Release Shame and Guilt Destroying Your Sex Life video training. And you can get it all from the website there. And please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and give us your 5-star reviews and ratings to help spread the love. See you all next week.